Good morning. My name is Freddy. Thank you for joining today. We will be learning some features when starting a new GX Works 3 project. So this will be a series of videos to assist you when you work with GX Works3. Most of the time we are not always familiar with some of the useful tools that's in the background in Mitsubishi software suite. That's across all the various applications that Mitsubishi make use of to program their devices. There are many new hidden there are many tools hidden in most of those tools we haven't even seen, or we quite frankly just don't know about them because we're not aware that they exist. So let's have a look at them. I'm going to start up my GX Works and let's play with a new project. If you guys got any questions during the session, you're welcome to ask. I will respond to your questions as we go along. So I believe there might be a couple of questions coming up during the session. When you start a new project, you obviously had to go and do your homework first before we just take on a new project like what's going to be your IO list and things like that. I'm not going to go into that detail right now. That'll be for another session, talking about project standards for your purposes. So yeah, nevertheless, let's get starting with what a project would look like when we start it up in GX Works3. Okay, first of all, we're going to go projects, and the menu item will be new project, and then you're going to decide, oh, I need my zoom tool again. Give me a second. I forgot to start up my zoom tool. Just give me a moment, I'll be with you guys just now. Where's my zoom tool going to be? Zoom. There we go. Now I can zoom in again. Okay. Back to GX Works. There we go. So we're going to select a project. You decide what you want to do, what PLC you want to go and program on. Today I'm just going to demonstrate on the FX5 because I'm quite familiar with the FX5 PLC. In that, we're going to decide what model of FX5. I'm talking under correction, but it looks like the UJ is discontinued. But I'll get update on my next video regarding the UJ. They are still available on the market. So what I'm going to look at right now is going to be what type of project I would like to start. It's going to be pure ladder, structured text, or function block diagram and ladder mixed. Or you just don't specify what you want to do, you will create your project as you go along. I'll show you how to do that as well. Okay, so for today I'm going to start a function block diagram with ladder mixed. We're going to get a message box telling us a couple of information about our project. So add a module, module name, in this case will be a FX5 CPU, mounting position number XYZ. I'll show you graphically how GX Works deal with mounting your PLC or your modules. Okay, so currently there's nothing extra added into the PLC, so we can go directly to change the settings. and add modules as we require. Well, these are settings for how I would like my project to add modules to a new project. I'm going to go a bit into depth a little bit more, but you can go and read up. It's pretty well described. You can just go and read up the text at the bottom of the description there. So use modules and select whether to add add the module label in adding modules. We're going to go a bit more in depth on that on a more advanced session. Okay, so let me carry on with this. You can either decide not to see this message box if you don't want to do some things automatically for you, but let's just keep it basic for now. Okay, next message box that I will receive is going to be in the option settings shown below, set whether to automatically reflect the changes to program editor if label names is edited in the label editor. Okay, so what's going to happen is all your changes will be done dynamically throughout your project. So if you change the label name somewhere, it will reflect, but depends on the size of your project. Sorry about that. Depends on the size of your project. Just take note that it can take a couple of minutes to reflect in certain parts. So once you've built or converted your project, you rebuild your project, then everything will be reflected throughout the project. Okay, but while you're doing work dynamically, just be aware if you've got a massive big project, then you might experience some delays. Okay, when that feature is switched on. Okay, now we got a function block diagram project open. Things that people don't really take note of or make use of because they just point blank start the project. They don't plan the project through. So what's going to be required is to think of how you want your project to work. So if you're going to go to a part here in the navigator, you'll note that there's an item called initial. So if I create a project under initial, that is the very first thing that's going to happen in the PLC, but for one scan only. So any program that you write in the initial block will be for one scan only, and anything from then on will be in your scan or your fixed scan or in your event or standby project. Okay, so this will only run once, irrespective of what you've written in that program. It will execute once and forget it. Okay, any questions about this? Any questions about initial program in the program block? So if I start a new project, a new program, and I add it and a new data, I can again decide. So I'm creating a program now under initial. So I can decide how I want my program to work. Do I want it ladder, or do I want to do some structured text for my initialization, or do I again want a function block diagram? Just for demonstration purposes, I'm going to use a function block diagram, and just to be funny, I can add another one as well and say I want a ladder in there, and also want, for some fantastic reason, add some structured text in there. Okay, so I can initialize things in different ways on the PLC. So for instance, let's say I have counters. natively counters don't have retentive outputs. So what you can do is you can go and preset your counters before you start your program. So when you've got a power up situation, you can go and preset all your retentive values and update your counters for your next startup. Okay, so you can maybe set values into your high speed counters, or just configure your PLC or your plant to be in a specific state. So let's say, for instance, you've recorded a lot of dynamic information in your plant, like a couple of bits that needs to be IOs that needs to be on and off, and whatever the case on the state may be of your plant. And at the moment the power went off, or when you stop the PLC will then be able to, depends on what program you've written, to reinitialize the startup, so you can literally start up exactly where you left off with. Okay, so it takes a little bit of thinking, think a little bit out of the box, do a couple of dynamic things, make use of your library. It's a tremendous amount of tools in your library to program these features. Let me see, where's my, there's my elements. So just go through your elements and learn what you can do effectively in configuring your PLC from a startup. Okay, that's initialize. Okay, so it doesn't matter what bits you use. Honestly, if you use SM8000 to start up some feature, yes, SM8000 does start it up initialize. It will start again once you start your first scan in your scan program. Okay, all clear? So I'm going to do a couple of things here that might be handy for you when you write your program. Once you started the program, you can go and look at the properties of each one of these items and go and give them descriptions. Make comments in there. Write something down where you can. Okay. So if I go and look at my main program, and I go and look at the properties, I have the opportunity to give my main program a name. So test demo is the name of my program, for instance, and I say okay, and take note, in your tree it will be written as, oh god, let me just do that again. There we go. So it will be written as test demo next to main, but I don't really want it. I don't like it personally. I don't like it like that. I will go and change my properties and just put a bracket over the text that I have added to. It makes it easily legible for when someone else works with your project. Okay. So that's a little bit easier to read, to identify what you have changed in your program. I just prefer that. Same thing goes for PAL. Sorry, let me go back to the properties again. In the properties, I can also add some comment. Why is this program here? I mean, you might have hundreds of little programs in your project, but if you're going to start creating programs, a good idea to note this is for demo. Oops. Demo test, for argument's sake. Okay. Describe your project. It's much easier to hand a project over to someone else when you put some good descriptions down, right from the word go. Before I even look at any code, it already gives me a very good idea of what I'm looking at before I even start diagnosing the troubles, or maybe just carry on with the project. And you can write quite a substantial amount of text in here. So a nice way to just quickly line out and point out what this is all for, and maybe if there's any special features in your program that one need to take care of, PID controllers, what's their default settings and things like that. One can go and do it, or maybe you've done something special with your motion control or your high speed counters. Okay. Again, for my PAL, which I can also rename anyways, I can give it absolutely any name that I want. My demo program. Okay. And again, I can go and look at the properties of my program. So there's my demo program, and I can again give it a title. So what is this program for? New demo, for instance. And now I can start writing down versions for my program right here. So this will be version 1.0.0.1. For argument's sake, I like to keep a bit of a standard. What I will do is I'll do a video around versioning. Why would you like to version things in a specific way? I don't care what you write down here. You can write down this is my first program or my second program in clear text as well. That doesn't matter. But just from a logical point of view, a good idea to understand why you would write your version number in majors and minors, so that we understand what has changed in the program, not just like something has changed, you know. At the bottom here, we can create a document, absolutely any sorts of document, which we can attach to our project, and like a PDF file or a Word document that we can associate to more details around our project. Okay. And again, we can add more comments here. Here's my demo comments. Okay. Again, between brackets, this is a new demo, and so we can carry on doing this for so the demo comments is then reflected through well, the comments that I've written down in my program is then reflected through other parts in my project. Okay, so makes it easy for me to quickly identify what I'm looking at in my program. So if I add a new worksheet, for instance, now, and I look at the properties of that worksheet, the same comments from my main program will be reflected in here. What else is in here? Fix scanning. Okay, fix scanning and event and standby I will handle in another video for us, which will be a little bit more advanced. There's some very interesting features when it comes to specifically around event programming on the IQ platform. There's some very nifty, very powerful tools to be able to use. Yeah, it's basically exactly the same thing as pointers, but one can be a little bit more effective in handling your program, executing bulk loads of code when it's needed, not all the time. Okay, but much easier than pointers to handle. Okay. Well, I need to drink something. There we go. So I think I'm going to wrap this up right here. If you guys got any questions, you're welcome to post it and let me know. Feel free to go and visit our website. Feel free to go and visit our website. We got quite a lot of information around Android support. Go and have a look at the Android support forum, and go and look at the knowledge base, especially around our Android products. And the same goes for the Mitsubishi support. Also go and have a look there. Regularly this information gets updated, so you might just find your solution in there as an example that we've already placed in there for you. In the meantime, any questions, you guys are most welcome to post them and let me know, and we will handle them as we go along. Okay. Thanks for everybody that came in and attended the session. And then last but not least, the end of the story will come. I see there's no questions, so I'm just going to close off for today. And again, like I said, you're most welcome to let me know if you've got any other further questions. Hey, thank you very much for sharing your time, and I hope you learned something today. Please like and subscribe. Click on the please like and click on the subscribe button. Also click on the bell icon so that you can receive notifications and not miss out on our live webinars. Thursday's webinar will be about CC-Link, i.e. 1 GB industrial Ethernet, open automation networks. That will be at 11 o'clock on Thursday morning, presented by Mark Schrader. If you have any suggestions around this presentation or other presentation topics, please email Samantha B. That will be Samantha B@adroid.co.za. We look forward to hosting you at another of our events, and we thank you again, and be sure to like and subscribe and click on that bell icon. Goodbye and stay safe.